From the director of Volcano, the producer of Twister, and the catering company for Speed comes the ultimate summer blockbuster.
What's that? Run!
This couple is about to have a really bad day.
Our only hope is to head to the Midwest.
Let's get in the truck!
This was a bad idea.
A plane flight out becomes their only chance for survival. A flight that turns out to be transferring to Las Vegas the worst criminals in the world.
What happened? We caught the plane, man!
Hold on, I've never flown one of these things before.
A narrow escape leads to the sea on a doomed ship.
It's taking us right into an oil tanker.
Oh no!
Hang on!
A ship that crashes on a remote island.
Run!
Ruled by dinosaurs. Until they're destroyed by a giant flood. See the summer movie to end all summer movies. Speeding flight from a volcano and Twister to a lost flooded world of dinosaurs and monster trees.
You know, I don't remember any monster trees.
Thank you so much. We have a happy crowd here tonight, but, you know, wasn't it a heartbreaker of a game today, though? Oh, yeah, we're sad. It was, a good shot. You know, I think they had basically a good season, but if you watched it, in the second half of the game, it looked like we were shooting at a little teeny hoop. And Houston was shooting at a big. Somehow seemed that way to me. I guess it's just as well because I think we all knew that we couldn't beat the Bulls anyway with Steve Scheffler on the injured list. Right? I mean, it just wasn't going to happen. Good thing is that Dennis Rodman won't be in Seattle buying up all the Claro like he did last year. We had some excitement downtown this week. Maybe you saw this on the news, that part of the city was shut down. The King County courthouse was evacuated. And a suspicious package that looked like a bomb was intentionally blown up. It turned out to be what? Salad shooter. You did see that. A salad shooter, yeah. It is standard procedure to blow up suspicious packages, and I think it also should be standard procedure for salad shooters, too. So let's recap. Last month, a guy with a sword shut down the city for 11 hours. This week, a salad shooter shut down part of the city for 3 hours. I'm just wondering how long you could hold out with a box of toothpicks, In other crime news, the famous X-Lax bandit from Kent, he pleaded guilty this week, then pleaded for a bathroom. So the judge was lenient, basically let him walk. As he left the court, he only had one other question. Has anyone seen my salad shooter? Not a lucky guy. Anyway, the X-Lax Bandit, of course, is one of Kent's most famous citizens. They've got a lot to be proud of. And now Renton. Renton, if you saw, is trying to polish up its image. It's going through a renaissance, or a Renton-sance, I guess you might say. There was a big article in the Seattleites this week said the city is trying to shed its blue-collar image with lots of new projects. You know, I mean, Renton's the kind of town that before, when you said an upscale restaurant was coming to Renton, people would say, "Great, we're finally getting an Izzy's." You know, it's like... It's that kind of place. And, you know, the spirit of Washington dinner train leaves from Renton. They used to keep the shades down until they reached... But now they're trying to compete with other cities on the east side. You know, Bellevue has Bellevue Square. Renton is now going to have the Renton Trapezoid. I don't know if you know that. It's going to have a Kmart and a Kmart rack, which is really good. Yeah, it's good. There's all sorts of other changes going on in the Jet City. We thought you might be interested. For example, the residents have promised not to stop mooning people stuck on the S-curves. Restaurants will switch from weekly to daily cleaning of all salad sneeze. Yeah, they love those kind of jokes. Anyway, instead of junkie cars sitting on blocks, all junkie cars must sit on nice cedar flower boxes. There will be a vote to replace Van Halen's Jump as the official city song. And new name for the city, South Bellevue. That's it. Well, we here at Almost Live wish everyone in Renton the best, of course, and I am now proud to introduce a new sponsor to our show.
You've made the decision not to eat factory processed chicken. So now, all you eat is free-range chicken. But if you think all free-range chickens are the same, then you haven't bought a Fronken free-range chicken. At Fronken, our chickens are truly free, which means they can leave the farm whenever they like. There you go, little buddy.
You see, at Fronken, we encourage all of our chickens to get out in the world and have fun while they still can. That's why you might see one taking a stroll along the beach with the guys, or making new friends as the life of the party. Then you might find him on a wild raft ride down a river, or taking an exciting parachute dive out of an airplane. At night, you're likely to catch him at a basketball game with his celebrity pals. Or perhaps spending a romantic night in bed with another Fronken chicken. Or, maybe the best of all, just enjoying a nice quiet evening alone drinking beer in his underwear. And then it's back to the farm with a suitcase full of great memories as he prepares for his future on your dinner table.
But don't feel bad for your Fronken free-range chicken, because they've had a pretty good time.
Fronken chicken. From the free range to your oven range.
Thanks, Fronken. I've had a blast. Now eat me.
All right, stay with us. We've got a great show, and we're coming right back.
And we're on the street again, asking people questions. Shut your mouth. Rotten eggs smell bad. To get people to quiet down, you say, curiosity killed a cat. Merchant Ivory films have too much talking. The rear end of a boat is aft. Do you think you're a fair man? I'm just. Rumors are mostly just hear, say. But if you had a lisp, they'd be here, say. A boxing match is called a bout. When you talk under your breath, you mutter. There is a town near Renton, last name Qua, first name Issa. It's good to separate the wheat from the chaff. Which of my questions annoyed you the most? That. So to summarize what he just told us, they say that cat shaft Issa bad mutter. Shut your mouth. I'm just talking about the shaft. We interrupt this program to bring you this special report.
Good evening. It is now 3 months since the ill-fated flight from Seattle disappeared from the radar screens. The search goes on, and the families continue to hold out hope that those lost Seattle residents are alive somewhere in the Pacific Ocean.
Morning, Walter.
Hey, can't stay long. What's cooking?
I got a mango guava latte with some steamed coconut milk here.
Man, I tell you, when you get home, you are going to make a bundle off this. Count me in on the investment.
All right.
Give me a double shot. I have to get back to the campus.
Walter, could I say something? Mm-hmm. Now, I know you Microsoft guys are really proud of the work you do, but it just really seems to me that we should all be working together to find a way off the island, instead of writing software.
Hey, our pagers are still working. They keep telling us we're behind schedule. You want to piss off Bill? Go ahead. I'm going to get some work done.
Well, how are you guys writing software anyway?
Well, we're poking the code into palm leaves with pointy sticks. Works pretty well. To tell you the truth, it's actually a little easier than Windows 95. Hey, all right!
What?
The stock split again.
All right. You see, that's exactly what I'm talking about. What good is all this stock if we're all stuck here? You guys built that damn bridge across the swamp to the east side of the island. The traffic is all congested. You've got these huge bamboo huts over there. They all look the same, no individual character. Y'all built 3-car garages. We don't have any cars, You should be putting all that energy into building a boat so we can get out of here.
You want a boat? You should talk to those folks from Tacoma.
Hey, what happened to those guys? I haven't seen them in weeks.
Oh, they moved down south by the volcano.
Oh, yeah? Wait a minute. By the sulfur flume?
Mm-hmm.
That's toxic. They should get out of there.
Yeah, they don't seem to mind. Anyway, they just finished a big boat. You should see it.
That's great. Is it seaworthy?
No, but it's got a great casino. It's really great. Excuse me?
Hey, stay in your lane!
I'm in my lane, pal.
Look, this side is for walking, this side is for jogging and bicycles.
Who has a bicycle?
Mine's almost done. I just need one more snakeskin. I told you we need to widen these lanes.
We need a boat!
No, we need to widen these lanes. And our committee has also come up with some other proposals that we want to talk about at the big fire tonight.
Oh, now what?
Well, we feel that the community needs a park. Now, the only problem is that we'll have to demolish most of the huts.
Our huts? The huts that we sleep in?
Yeah, I know it'll cause some discomfort, but if we do this now before the village gets too developed, we could have a park that stretches from the beach all the way up to the big rocks on the hill. Wouldn't that be great?
You were on the Seattle Commons Committee, weren't you? I know you. You were part of that group that was traveling with John Hinterberger, yeah. I haven't seen him since the crash. What happened to him?
Well, he was injured pretty bad, so we ate him.
How was he?
Not as good as we expected. 3 stars at the most. Anyway, the park is a good idea, and we should build it right after we finish the football stadium.
Wait a minute, we did finish the football stadium. That's where those guys from Wallingford got killed by the wild boar.
Well, we're tearing it down because it wasn't a state-of-the-art facility, okay? All the people in first class from the plane said they wanted skyboxes, so what can you say?
Hey, everybody.
Hey!
How you doing?
Good.
I got some good news. We were able to rewire one of those pagers, and we got in touch with Paul Allen's office. He's going to finance a rescue mission.
That's great. We're saved.
Cool.
Right.
There's just one thing. We have to come up with half the money.
What?
Yeah. See, he figures he's making a big investment here, and he wants the community to support him. We need to tax something, see? And frankly, the only thing we sell is these lattes.
No way!
Sorry, gotta go, guys. Gotta poke some code.
See you guys at the big fire tonight.
I want to go home.
Oh, have a latte and shut up.
And we're on the street once again, asking people questions. Someone who is listless is blank a daisical.
Black.
The cousin on the Addams family is
It.
The best things in life are
Free.
What kind of noise does a snake make? In divorce situations, sometimes you have to share child custody with
The X.
At elementary school libraries, Penthouse magazine is generally
Banned.
So to summarize what she just told us,
Free the X-Lax. Banned it.
Good Good evening. This is the Late Report. Well, cigarette companies say that if King County passes laws to restrict the use and advertising of tobacco products, they might sue. They say it's also possible that they might confess that they've been lying all along about the dangers of tobacco, but admit that if they had to guess between the two, it would probably be the one where they sue. The Seafair hydroplane course has been moved closer to shore to allow a Blue Angels show that doesn't fly over spectators. Seafair officials say that it's much safer to have a 200-mile-per-hour boat making tight turns close to shore. Scientists say that next year they may move Keiko, the orca whale, to a pen in the icy waters of the North Atlantic. If so, the new move will be documented in a movie called Freeze Willy. The publisher of The Stranger says rumors that his alternative weekly is being sold are, quote, wrong and totally screwed up. Coincidentally, Wrong and Totally Screwed Up is also the title of a new category for people seeking dates in the Stranger personal ads. The Portland Oregonian ran a story showing that a washing machine soap product called the Laundry Solution doesn't work. In a related story, the Seattle PI ran an expose that thoroughly discredits those X-ray glasses advertised in the back of comic books. King County Executive Ron Sims released a report showing that even without the Mariners and the Seahawks, the Kingdom could bring in over $687,000 profit per year. That is, of course, if the Dome could be rented out on the weekends for all-night raves. The Evergreen State College in Olympia is the only university in the state that doesn't own tobacco stocks because of an ethical stand against the tobacco companies. An Evergreen spokesman said that while he's proud of the anti-cigarette sentiment of many of the students, he can't quite figure out why they're always bumming matches off him. Finally, a Moses Lake map maker used new, snazzier-sounding names for several geographic features in an effort to make eastern Washington more appealing to tourists. As a result, the town of Ellensburg will from now on be known as Bitchenburg. It's been a Late Report. Stay with us. We're coming right back.
And once again, we are on the street asking people questions. The ego and superego help control the impulses of the id. You use a needle and thread to
sew
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H,
I,
J, K, L,
M,
N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y,
Z.
Something that seems certain is virtually as
sure.
A Griffey home run means my.
The
big car rental company is
Hertz.
Okay, and 1 and 1 is
2.
2 and 2 is
4.
Groups of people having common leaderships, sets of opinions, or philosophical doctrines, and indeed maybe factions of larger groups are known as
sects.
And so that's So to summarize what he just told us,
I am 2 sec Z 4 my shirt so sec Z that it hurts.
The Lame List, or What's Week This Week, brought to you by America's heavy metal community. Lame! You can't tell if your new bass player is a guy or a chick.
That's pretty lame, man.
Your mom wants to borrow your girlfriend's thong bikini. Lame! When you're petting what you think is a nice cat, but then it flips out and attacks your hand.
Absolutely lame.
Definitely.
Very, very lame. Wallowing in the sty of lameness.
You just paid $20 for a gram of parsley. Lame! Now that Soundgarden is broken up, being a lameless guy is pretty much your main gig.
That was rather lame. That was, in all my years, that pretty much take the top of the list for lame.
They're turning Moe's into a disco!
Lame! It's only lame! Excusable! Lame.
This has been the Lame List.
Well, thank you so much. That is pretty much it for tonight, and I want to thank all of you folks in Seattle and British Columbia and wherever else you're watching for putting up with us for another season. This show officially closes out our 13th season, so we're going to have lots of fun reruns for you to watch. And we'll see you again next year right around September. So, bye-bye.